a 4-star committed to Texas. They also got arguably the best secondary in high school football. You got Brandon Lockhart and Madden Riordan, a couple of USC commits. Now you look at the Trailblazers defense. They're only allowing 4.3 points per game. You get a look at Richard Wesley getting pressure there and Finney with the pick 6. They also have a very good offense. They got a USC commit, Tron Baker at wide receiver, and then Laird Finkel at quarterback too. Santa Margarita has been a great team this year. It all starts with Trent Mosley. He's a 4-star USC commit. He's a game changer for the Eagles. He's missed a couple games, and he missed a few games last year, but when he's playing, Santa Margarita, one of the toughest teams to beat in high school football. And the big difference in this game is Santa Margarita a little more tested this year. They played arguably the toughest schedule in high school football. They've gone 2-2 against teams currently ranked in the MaxPreps top 25. They have wins over Corona Centennial and Mater Dei, where you look at Sierra Canyon on the other hand, their biggest win probably against Orange Lutheran. So that's really what I got my eyes on in this game tonight is Santa Margarita really tested this year. Sierra Canyon, they really haven't had to gone through adversity, so we'll see how that goes. If this game's close and they got to make plays late, that's exactly what Santa Margarita has done all season long. That's really the game I can't wait to see. It's going to be a fun one tonight. Trace Johnson's played great as well for Santa Margarita. He's getting a lot more confidence this year playing the quarterback position. And it's also nice, too. You got Carson Palmer, first-year head coach. He's going up against, a big-time coach on the other end in John Ellinghaus. So that'll be a fun matchup. So let's go ahead and check out the Mater Dei Mission Viejo game. This is another game I can't wait to see. Mater Dei comes in 2 losses. First time they've had 2 losses in a season since 2015. But this team, they've shown they can hang with the big boys, and it all starts with Chris Henry Jr., Ohio State commit, 5-star wide receiver, 6'5", 205 pounds. They've been a different team when he plays this year. He's missed a few games with injuries. They have big wins this year against Bishop Gorman and St. John Bosco, and they start with a very tough opponent in Mission Viejo tonight. But you look at this offense Mater Dei has. They're one of the best in the country, the Chris Henry Jr., Caden Dixon Wyatt. Then you also got 5-star tight end Mark Bowman, a USC commit. The big thing with Mater Dei, though, especially there's going to be a lot of rain in Southern California tonight. They haven't had the same running game they've had in the past few years. So if they can't run the ball, the passing game might be a little tough tonight with the heavy rain going down. So that'll be something to watch in this one. And then you look at Mission Viejo on the other hand. Luke Fahey. This dude's been an absolute stud this year, just like Chris Henry Jr. He's an Ohio State commit as well, and he's coming off his best game of the season in a 76-49 win against Los Alamitos. He threw for 569 yards, had 5 touchdowns, and he also had a rushing score. Jack Junker's been his favorite target this year. Diablos, though, they've been going through some injuries, so that'll be something to watch tonight. Vance Bafford, he's out for the year. J.D. Hill got hurt in the Los Alamitos game time decision tonight. And then Jaron Jones, a 4-star corner, he missed that game. He's also a game time decision. So those are 2 guys Mission Viejo really needs tonight if they want to pull the upset against Mater Dei. I can't wait for this one, though. It's going to be fun at the Santa Ana Bowl. And anytime you got Luke Fahey, you really got a chance to pull off any win on Friday night. And you get a look at some of these deep balls Luke Fahey's throwing. He's really one of the best in the country. But it's going to come down to the defense for Mission Viejo if they want to beat Mater Dei, because the Monarchs have one of the best offenses. And also, too, the other 2 games, I know the Mission Viejo Mater Dei and the Sierra Canyon Santa Margarita game getting all the love. These 2 games are 2 to keep an eye on. We'll start with Corona Centennial and Servite. And Corona Centennial, this year they played a very tough schedule, and you'll get a look at Jaden Walk-Green. He's really one of the best safeties in high school football. Yeah, you get a look. He's got 13 offers so far, uncommitted, 5'11", 180 pounds. He's got 8 interceptions this year. And this one back against Mater Dei, this was one of the biggest plays all season long. Up 43-36, he comes up with a big interception. So he's a guy I can't wait to watch tonight. It's going to be fun against Servite. And, with Corona Centennial, Matt Logan, great head coach. They always have a great offensive game plan going in. We'll see if that changes tonight, if there is heavy rain. It looks like in the forecast for the Corona Centennial game, they might avoid the heavy rain. So be interested in something to keep your eye on. You look at Servite, they're tough every year. And I love Luke Sorensen. This is a bad dude at tight end. He's a Nebraska commit, 6'4", 245 pounds, and he's kind of that Swiss Army knife. He does a lot of things for Servite's offense. He can line up at wide receiver. He can stay in the box. Great at blocking. Nebraska's getting an absolute dude. I can't wait to watch this one. They played earlier in the season. They opened up against each other. Corona Centennial had their way. They won 42-14, but you know how it is with rematches. They usually tend to be a little tighter, a little closer. Both these teams are way different than they were when they opened up against each other. So this is one I can't wait to see. Corona Centennial, Servite. It's going to be a fun one. Servite's always tough to beat twice. Now, the last quarterfinal matchup, you got St. John Bosco against Orange Lutheran. This is going to be a fun one. St. John Bosco, they got one of the best players in the country in four-star Texas A&M commit Madden Williams. In the game against Modern Day, he broke the school record for most receiving touchdowns. This dude's had a touchdown reception in every game this year, and it's going to be fun to see against Orange Lutheran. St. John Bosco, they've really dominated this all-time series with OLU. They've won 17 in a row against the Lancers. They've always had their way with it. The last time the Lancers beat St. John Bosco was 2011. And also, you look at the Braves offense. Koa Mala'ulu, sophomore quarterback. He's putting together a special year. He's got 30-plus passing touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. Daniel Odom, also a player to watch for the Braves. Olu, it all starts with Marcus Facuto. D-line, 6'6", 275. He recently reclassified from 2028 to 2027. He's going to have a big night, though, if Olu wants to beat St. John Bosco. This is a guy, he's disruptive, gets after the quarterback, and they're going to have to create turnovers if they want to beat the Braves. And Orange Lutheran comes in 2-8, but 2 of those games were forfeit losses. They went out to South Florida, beat Miami Northwestern earlier in the year. They played the who's who, playing in the Trinity League, playing a lot of tough non-league opponents. So that should bode well for Orange Lutheran if they want to pull the upset against St. John Bosco. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come hang out with me for the next few hours. We get to watch 4 of the best games in the CIF Southern Section Division I playoffs. So once again, it'll be on the NFHS network the whole night, and it'll be on YouTube. So all you got to do if you're watching on YouTube, scan the QR code, and it'll bring you to the NFHS network. You can watch all of it there. And, of course, it's going to be fun. Come hang out for the next few hours. And before we get started, we're going to go ahead and look at the top 10 plays from our MaxPreps Top Games of the Week.
We have your top 10 plays from the MaxPreps Game of the Week this year. We're starting with this one, play number 10, Baylor High School in Tennessee. Briggs Cherry finds Caden Dewey for the eventual game winner in one of the best games, best atmospheres we saw all season long. And we have more from this game coming up. We're going to go to Georgia. This was Travis Burgess finding his big tight end, Olafame Hunter, who dragged everybody into the end zone with him. Grayson High School, one of the top teams in the country. All right, let's go. Volume up.
Worst, you got to leave with at least a field goal on this possession. Bay play action. He's rolling. He's got pressure from behind. He's throwing into the end zone. He's got a man open. Touchdown, Mission Viejo.
Junker.
There he is.
There he is, Jack Junker, making that grab. All right, Hamilton High School, one of the most electric players in the entire country. He's only a sophomore. Roy Oliver, he's been making plays all season long. We got to see him firsthand do this right in front of us. Only a sophomore, and he's very, very good, that's for sure. IMG Academy, another young guy, Eric McFarland. Watch him make this catch, gets spun around, but then sees a little hole, and then he just turns on the Jets.
And away he goes.
That's Mr. McFarland, man. He's a bad dude.
As Zack Poff says, that's a bad dude right there. That is for sure. All right, volume up in California.
Alulu with pressure coming, going to throw a deep ball. He's got a man with a step, and what a catch by Williams, and he walks into the end zone for a touchdown. Zack, that might be a top 10 MaxPreps play of the week.
Look at that. I mean, his ability to just let that ball drop right in his hands takes it to the house.
From one Trinity League team to another, this is modern day Bosco's rival, but it's Chris Henry this time from Ryan Hopkins. Chris Henry, one of the top wide receivers in the entire country, one of the top players we saw all season long on the MaxPreps Game of the Week. He made plays like that. This is the best catch potentially we saw all year in terms of just one-handed snags. Servite Baker from Legend How. Was it the best catch we saw all season? We're going to see a couple more angles. It's play number 3. At play 2, we have another catch, but you could easily say this was one of the top catches we saw all season. What do you think? That play right there or this play right here? Volume up.
Now the opposite taking place out on the field. It's really play action. Here comes some pressure. He dances away from it, throws into the end zone. A beautiful pass. Is that caught? Wow.
That was caught. Wow is right. Look at that. Woo, that's good. All right, play number 1 this season. Volume up.
Try this again. Receiver to the near side. Judah Smith. 2 to the far side. In the slot is Caden Dewey. Handoff, Gabriel George across the line of scrimmage, keeps the feet moving, still going, breaks a tackle all the way down the sideline, one man to beat, cuts back, and he's got a touchdown.
Wow. I mean, I think we know what play number 1 is going to be next week on the MaxPreps top 10 plays of the week.
That was the best sauce you saw all year from our MaxPreps top 10 games of the week. A lot of fun, and we are about set for kickoff in these 4 games. And, you know, a big thing to pay attention to coming into this one is all the rain. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, you get to watch the first quarter free, whichever one of the 4 games, the first one quarter ends, you got to switch over to the NFHS network. All you got to do is scan that QR code. Super easy, and you can watch all the coverage on the NFHS network. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe, because not only do you get to watch these 4 great playoff games, you get to watch all the best high school football playoff coverage in America. This is going to be fun. I'm super excited. We're getting super close. And you get a look at a lot of the rain, though. That's something to keep a close eye on. You know, playoffs are always tough. Then you factor in the rain. That could cause some turnovers. So who knows? We might get a couple upsets here. I would say Santa Margarita, Sierra Canyon, probably the game most people got circled. Mission Viejo, Modern Day should be fun. You get a look at the 4 games going on before me. This is going to be fun. The next 3 hours, high school football, Friday night, best playoff bracket in the country. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. And you get a look at all the teams coming out. And St. John Bosco, this is a team I really can't wait to watch as well, too, because this is a team that is trying to work themselves back to the number 1 spot. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket, though, in the CIF Southern Section D1 field. You got number 1 St. John Bosco, number 8 Orange Lutheran. All these teams in the top 100 as well. So the winner of that game will play the winner of Sierra Canyon, Santa Margarita in the semifinals. Then on the other side of the bracket, you got Modern Day, Mission Viejo, Corona Centennial, and Servite. So you're going to get some heavyweight semifinal matchups, but it all starts tonight with 4 big-time quarterfinal games. Looks like we're about set for kickoff. St. John Bosco coming out of their tunnel, and Corona Centennial and Servite. Looks like that's going to be the first game that gets underway. So let's go ahead and maybe take a live look on that one as Servite's kicking this one deep to Corona Centennial. And I've been waiting for this because my broadcast partner, I did all the games of the week, Jeff Kurtz, is on the call with his son, Ben Kurtz.
Right to left across your screen. Here's the kickoff. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback, and Centennial will start out at their own 20-yard line. And introductions are in order. Jeff Kurtz alongside Ben Kurtz. Our producer tonight, Damian Ordaz, and our cameraman is Ruben Kabugwas. We have rainy skies here in Corona, California. We've got rainy skies all over the Southland for all these quarterfinal games, and we've got great games going on for you, all on the NFHS Network tonight. Santa Margarita at Sierra Canyon, Mission Viejo hosting Modern Day, and then St. John Bosco battling with Orange Lutheran. And so we get set for this opening possession. Ben, we haven't had a chance for keys to the game, but as we look at this one, Centennial got a high-powered offensive attack. Servite lost to them 42-14 the first time around.
Yeah, and the essential key to the game today was going to be ball security, making sure you don't lose that football out on the wet surface today.
Well, and it looked like that Centennial was going to try a double pass as Dominic Catalano throwing out to the far side, hitting Devin Parker, but Parker couldn't get the pass off, and they are going to say he's tackled for a huge loss. So Centennial with the ball in the end zone starting at their own 20-yard line, and now with that...
It looks like we got our second kickoff underway. Mater Dei kicking off to Mission Viejo. So we're going to get a chance to see Luke Fahey, Ohio State commit at quarterback for Mission Viejo. And that's going to be, it doesn't look like the rain's too bad in that one. So that's going to bode well for Mission Viejo as they have one of the best passing attacks in the country. And, you know, you look at the Servite Corona Centennial game, that's exactly what the Friars defense needs to do. They got to force negative plays with Corona Centennial and Dominic Catalano. Catalano takes off, nice run. That'll set up a 3rd and 5 for the Huskies. Let's go ahead and go the triple box. We got Sierra Canyon game kicking off, and this is the one I can't wait to see, man. This is a big test for Sierra Canyon. They're playing Santa Margarita, a team that's ranked number 12 in the country. They've played the who's who this year. They're 2-2 against MaxPreps' top 25 opponents this year. This is a fun game. And Santa Margarita is going to get the ball first, so we'll get a chance to see Trent Mosley. First down run for the Huskies, as you see Mission Viejo running on first down with Devontae Curtis. So that kick looked like it went in the end zone. So Santa Margarita is going to drive this. They're going to start this drive at the 20. St. John Bosco, the only game not to kick off yet. That's moments away. So we're set. 3 of the 4. Luke Fahey with a nice handoff to Curtis. First down, Mission Viejo. And Corona Centennial putting together a nice drive. Maybe let's listen live to that Corona Centennial Servite game, see what they can do with this drive as they're nearing the 30-yard line.
So now Catalano is going to put the brakes on a little bit here. I see a lot more running tonight than passing as there's a lot of precipitation on the ground, on the football, in the air. There's another short carry here by Davis, and now we've got a penalty marker that flies in way late after the play, after the tackle just shy at the 31-yard line. And let's sort this out with our officiating crew as we've got a personal foul that's going to go against Centennial. So the Huskies pick up their first penalty of the game, but it's going to move them backwards 15 yards. And that'll put them at the 46-yard line of Servite. So 3rd down now for Centennial. And they're going to 4 receiver set, and Catalano's probably going to have to take to the air here. Going to look to the sideline. Davis in the backfield. Play action to Davis. They're going to throw near side, and that pass is going to go through the hands of the receiver on the near side of the field. That pass was intended for Ty Plinsky, and that'll make it 4th down, and head coach Matt Logan's going to go for it here with Centennial at the 46-yard line. 4th down and long. Catalano with 2 receivers to either side. Handoff Davis just to get some yardage here, but they aren't going to get much as Servite with a nice stop at the 45-yard line, and that is where the Friars will take over. So you have a turnover on downs as Centennial going for it on that side of the field in a 4th and very long situation. That 15-yard penalty, personal foul,
let's see.
Hurt them there. They do.
Yeah, we're going to bring the double box back here. You got a 4th down for Mission Viejo. They're going to punt away. Even though they're not going to get points on this drive, still a good job by the Diablos if they can force a long field for Mater Dei. Nice job by Servite, though, to force a turnover on downs. They start this drive at their own 45. And that's not a guy you want to see limping off the field for Orange Lutheran. Marcus Facato, big-time junior defensive lineman. Looks like it's just a cramp, so Hopefully he'll be able to get it back out there. So nice punt for Mission Viejo. Mater Dei is going to start this drive. So you get to see one of the most dynamic offenses in the country take over right here. They got arguably the best receiving core with Chris Henry Jr., 5-star Ohio State commit, and Caden Dixon-White, a 4-star USC commit. And then you throw in 5-star tight end Mark Bowman. So a bunch of ballers for Mater Dei, and Ryan Hopkins get the rock too. Nice job. Sierra Cannon's defense, they force a 3-and-out as well, so they'll take over against Santa Margarita. Let's go ahead and listen live to St. John Bosco game against Orange Lutheran. Kerry Garnett and Sam Ono on the call.
Lancers, and also honor the great Johnson in the backfield. So it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Oh, looks like we got a big play almost from Mater Dei as they go deep to Chris Henry Jr., but he can't reel that one in. Let's see what comes up here with St. John Bosco on 2nd and 10. You get a look at Koamala Ulu, arguably the best quarterback in the class of 2028. He's got over 30 touchdowns this year, only 4 interceptions. 3 of those interceptions came in that loss to Mater Dei 2 weeks ago. So good job by Orange Lutheran's defense. They force a 3-and-out against St. John Bosco. Yeah, let's bring all 4 games back here, see what's going on. Mater Dei trying to get a running game going. And nice first down run for the Monarchs. He's still on his feet, down the sideline, and finally out of bounds. Huge run for Mater Dei as he gets into the Diablos territory. 4th down, Servite. Nowhere to go. Centennial, huge stop. They're going to get great field position to start this one at their right around midfield. Let's go ahead and check out this Mater Dei Mission Viejo game live as Jonathan Grace and Chris Nicoletti are on the call.
I believe it was.
Yeah, Justin Lewis, the UMass commit, transfer from Thousand Oaks. This kid is a great running back.
Hopkins on the 50-yard line. Puts Dixon Wyatt in motion. Is going to sling right down the middle, and a second unsuccessful pass. That one looked just a touch rushed, Chris.
Yeah, it was a little bit rushed there. They had it wide open on the slant corner route. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to connect there. Like you said, I don't think Ryan Hopkins' foot or his feet.
And that was a good sign for Mater Dei there. Is that pass incomplete, but it was intended for Gavin Honore. You look at Sierra Canyon there as they're getting near midfield. Couple of broken tackles. Nice play for Sierra Canyon. And, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you get to watch whatever game first quarter comes to an end. We're going to switch over to the NFHS network. Super easy. Just scan that QR code. You can stay with us all night, watch these 4 big-time quarterfinal matchups in the best playoff bracket, not just in California, but the entire country. Yeah, this is fun. We're just getting started. No points yet so far. And you kind of figured, too, a lot of good defense tonight, but then you factor in all the rain. Points might be tough to come. So you're going to see some of these underdogs maybe have a better chance. Orange Lutheran trying to get a drive going as they're near in St. John Bosco territory. Mater Dei's got a big 3rd and 6. That's a good sign for Mission Viejo, though. J.D. Hill, Jaron Jones, both playing tonight. That would have been 2 tough losses if they didn't have those guys on defense. J.D. Hill's been a monster, not just his senior year, but his whole high school career with Chad Johnson. Let's go live to that Mater Dei Mission Viejo game, see what they can do here on this 3rd down. And they're going to pick up the 1st down. That's with Gavin Honore. And I think they ruled he might have stepped out of bounds or he's down. Let's bring back the quad box. Orange Lutheran, 3rd and 1. And they're going to move the chains. Nice run for the Lancers. That's important for Orange Lutheran. They want to have some long drives and keep Koamala Ulu, Madden Williams, and Daniel Odom off the field. Sierra Canyon put together a nice drive, too, on their opening possession. And looks like Centennial is already punting back to Servite. So the Friars defense playing well early in the first quarter. So the Mater Dei game, it looked like they might have ruled that incomplete because now it's 4th and 6. Monarchs punting. Orange Lutheran trying to get a running game established. And nice run. Looked like he was maybe going to get taken down in the backfield, able to pick up positive yardage. Let's see maybe if we can go live to that Orange Lutheran St. John Bosco game, as they're the only one in the opponent's territory, along with Sierra Canyon, of course. Let's actually bring the double box in. We'll go with Santa Margarita, Sierra Canyon, and Servite, Corona Centennial. You're going to look at Laird Finkel, gives it to the recent Oklahoma commit. First down run for Jackson Stokes. Sierra Canyon, they got one of the best 1-2 punches in the backfield, led by Jackson Stokes. Dude's dynamic, not just as a running back, but also he's legit coming out of the backfield as a wide receiver. Second down for Servite. Calais Murphy, quarterback. And they're going to get a third and short coming up here. So once again, these 4 games are going to have huge implications on the national rankings, as quick pass goes incomplete for Sierra Canyon. But especially if Sierra Canyon wins this D1 bracket and then they play De La Salle in the state championship game and they're undefeated, they're going to have a strong case to finish the year at number 1. Servite, 3rd and 1. Trying to bounce it outside, and they're not going to get the first down. Nice job by the Huskies defense. 3rd and 3 for Sierra Canyon. Finkel gives it to Stokes. Nice job, Santa Margarita's defense. Tackle in the backfield. That'll force 4th down coming up, I believe. So we got all 4 games going right now. And Corona Centennial Servite, that's got the least amount of time. Just under 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. They're going for it. 4th and 2. That's Luke Sorensen, the Nebraska commit, and he's not going to get the first down. We'll see where the ref marks it. Yeah, he's short. Corona Centennial is going to take over. Olu putting together a nice drive. They're in the red zone. Let's go to that game live.
Orange Lutheran team, Lancers are driving right now.
Very impressive drive on this first possession. Have the first down at the 18-yard line of St. John Bosco.
They've been able to slow the defensive rush upfield. Now they're going to have to not be able to go so far upfield.
Raiden Velasquez is one of those receivers at the top of the screen, or the farthest away from our camera, along with Marcus Keir on the right side. Sean Morse in the backfield with Reagan Toki.
Pressure.
Oh, Toki loses the handle and the ball is out. The Braves pick it up. Oh, just a bobbled snap, and the Braves have it. Josiah Poyer pounces on it and recovers it at the 29.
Wow, what a job by the Braves defense. Josiah Poyer, he's got offers from the likes of Ohio State and a few other big-time schools. And that's what we were talking about before with the rain. It's going to be a problem. Mission Viejo now in the red zone as well against Mater Dei. Sierra Canyon near in the red zone. Luke Fahey pitches it out. Curtis, senior running back. He's going to get close to setting up a 1st and goal for Mission Viejo, a couple yards short. Sierra Canyon putting together a nice drive as well. This is their first drive here in the first half. Santa Margarita, one of the best defenses in SoCal. They're loaded at all 3 levels. Samote Katawanga, USC commit in the front 4. Logan Hyrule, UCLA commit. They also got Prime Williams. Mission Viejo close to picking up the first, a little short, so we're going to have 4th and less than 1 for the Diablos. Let's go ahead and go live to Mission Viejo here as they're 4th and just about 1 to go.
4th and 1, Fahey wants to go for it. Mission Viejo trying to punch one up the middle. There's the first down. This drive will continue as they march towards the 5.
Yeah, bad snap there. Fahey grabs the ball out of the air, hands off to Curtis, and he just lowers his shoulder, moves the pile. We're looking at a first down here at the 5-yard line. Mission Viejo looks great coming out. Second drive of the game.
That's a tough play. This defensive line for Mater Dei is sizable. They are powerful. They are strong. These are very large, very athletic high school students, many of whom will play at the top level in college. Passes made. Closer and closer to the end zone, but a flag thrown late. The officials not liking something as that catch was made and the tackle was executed. They'll confer for a moment, but that flag came out nearly immediately after that pass was caught.
Looked like they were setting up the receiver screen out there. Hit KJ Woodbury Jr. but just not a lot of room as the defensive back made a really good play. And let's see what this flag is.
Illegal participation is the call.
Let's see if we can bring back
John Murphy from
the 2 box as well. Sierra Canyon's got a big 3rd down coming up. We got 3rd and 3 for the Trailblazers. They're trying to get points on the board here as Mission Viejo is trying to get a touchdown as well. They got 1st and goal after the penalty on Modern Day. Fahey, nice play design as they try and give it to Junker. He can't come up with a pitch, so a huge tackle for loss for Modern Day. So it looks like we're going to have a penalty on Sierra Canyon, so that'll back up this 3rd down. Huge negative play for Modern Day's defense as Mission Viejo had a 1st and goal at about the 2-yard line. But that's nice, too, where you got a guy like Luke Fahey at quarterback. He's committed to Ohio State for a reason. In their last game against Los Al, they won 76-49. He threw for 569 yards, had 5 touchdowns, and he's been doing that all year for Mission Viejo. He was in our National Player of the Year watch list, one of the 10 players selected. Fahey gets it out quick, so this will set up about 12 yards out, 3rd and goal. Finkel, incomplete pass, so you'll probably see Sierra Canyon attempt a field goal here. We're getting close to anybody watching on YouTube. Once this first game, it's the end of the first quarter, you're going to have to switch over to the NFHS network after this Mission Viejo play as we get a bad snap. And looks like that's a live ball. And Modern Day jumps on it. So that's a QR code you want to scan to switch over if you're watching on YouTube. Go over to the NFHS network. Watch all 4 of these games going on. And it's look like we're going to have some tight games. We still haven't had any points yet so far. So just scan that QR code. Come on over to the NFHS network. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe now. Trust me, you want to. A lot of great football action in the playoffs going on, and also you got high school basketball starting up too. So you want to scan that QR code, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's bring back the quad box. Bosco punting again. Orange Lutheran's defense doing well. There was actually a penalty on Santa Margarita, gave Sierra Canyon a 1st down, so they're nearing the goal-to-goal situation. And Modern Day takes over after the bad snap. So we're still looking for our first points here tonight. I'm sorry, BJ. I guess I'm cursed because we were getting this a lot during the MaxPreps games of the week, but I'll blame it on the rain this week. Let's go live to Sierra Canyon if we get a chance against Santa Margarita, as they're the only team really threatening to score right now.
Perhaps Braden Mercer, the left tackle, had a bit of an equipment situation. Here we go now.
Let's go ahead and bring back the 2 box here as you get a little trickery attempt for Sierra Canyon going nowhere. Let's bring back Modern Day as well, see what they can do. With this offense, they can score on any play with Chris Henry Jr. and Caden Dixon-Wyatt. Ryan Hopkins putting together a solid senior season as he hits Chris Henry Jr., breaks a tackle. He's still going all the way near the 40-yard line. This dude's a baller, man. Ohio State's getting an absolute dude. So we're getting close to the end of the first quarter in the Sierra Canyon Santa Margarita game. Once again, once this game hits the end of the first quarter, we're going from YouTube to the NFHS network. So make sure and switch on over with us when this game hits 000. Finkel looking to throw. Santa Margarita gets pressure. And that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. So once again, go ahead and scan the QR code. You get one last look. If you're on YouTube of the quad box, you're going to want to scan this code right here. It'll take you on over to the NFHS network. You can watch all the action here tonight in the first ever episode of the MaxPreps Playoff Pulse. This has been a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to this. We've always wanted to do this to bring you multiple games going on at once. And hopefully this will be something we'll continue to do. We're going to do the semifinals next week in the CIF Southern Section D1 bracket and maybe do Rider Lions and Folsom and De La Salle included in that to do a couple of Northern California games. So